Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Monday night live stream for studentloanjustice.org. My name is Alan Collins. We are the first and oldest and largest and only true grassroots group fighting only and absolutely for student loan justice. That means two things. That means returning the right of bankruptcy to student loans, believe it or not. And that's chief among them. But the second thing is student loan cancellation by executive order, not through Congress, by executive order. Those are the two things that we are fighting for in this group. We have been fighting for bankruptcy our entire 18-year existence. We started the conversation about student loan cancellation by executive order in summer 2019 and then formalized it with our petition calling for exactly that in March 2020. That was many months before any politicos or anybody really was calling for student loan cancellation by executive order. So I'm happy to report to you that our petition is now up to 1.2 million signatures. We think we should realistically be able to get it up to 15 or even 20 million signatures if we marketed that petition correctly. So we don't have a marketing department on this group, guys. Our marketing department is you. So word of mouth is always and always will be the only way that we are going to grow and gain power. I think that's certainly been true for the past 18 years. And I think that will probably be true going forward. So this is a working, fighting group. We don't kiss your ass on this group. We're not here to entertain you. Although sometimes entertaining things happen. But in any event, if you forget everything I say tonight and you want to know what you can do to help solve your student loan problem, go to our website, studentloanjustice.org, and do our daily actions. You can see that at the top of the page. Very simple, very quick. I think they're fun. Many people on our group do them every day, and they say they are cathartic. So there's a lot going on right now. A couple quick conversations before I launch into tonight's topic. We do need pretty significant donations this week. In fact, we have to raise just shy of $800 this week. That's quite a bit by our standards. So if you appreciate all that this group has done, all that we are doing, and the most important thing, all that we are poised to get done, please just donate so I can shut up about it. So if 40 people donated $20, that would get us there. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Just please help, because I suck at fundraising. So a couple other announcements. We are still asking everyone, including and especially you, to get us into a meeting with your member of the House of Representatives. And you can see the thing scrolling below me, which kind of spells that out. The point is, we need to meet with judiciary staffers in every congressional district in the country. That's 435 people. So far, we've met with many dozen, but we aren't even close to 100 yet. And we need to get this done, guys. Not only is going to start and end with you, because you are a constituent. You can make those meetings happen. So call them up, say, I want to meet with your judiciary staffer. I want to talk about returning bankruptcy protections to student loans. And I want to bring in somebody from Student Loan Justice. You can give them our contact info. We will do most or all of the talking if we have to. We're trying to make this very easy for you. We're willing to do all the heavy lifting, but you've got to initiate that meeting. So just please do it. So if you have any questions or comments, and I can see them on Twitter and or Facebook, throw them out here. Tonight, this is kind of an equal time live stream. Last week, I did a live stream called, the theme of it was, how stupid are the Republicans? And the answer is that the Republicans are galactically stupid on the student loan problem. And so because we are a fiercely nonpartisan group, we basically hate both parties in different ways. I felt it was appropriate to do one for the Democrats, because believe me, guys, the Democrats, maybe not quite as idiotic as the Republicans, but they are very stupid on the student loan issue. So let's start with the fact that I can't get over, and this has been true since 2016. The Democrats have included returning bankruptcy to student loans in their party platform since 2016. They have been promising to return bankruptcy, the leverage of bankruptcy to student loans since 2006, really, or even before, quite frankly. Now, since 2006, the Democrats have held the House, Senate, and presidency twice. So under Obama in his first term, and then just now under Biden, his first term. The Democrats under Obama failed to return bankruptcy to student loans. And that was back when, as a country, we only owed around $500 or $600 billion. But then in 2020, with the nation's student debt tab approaching $2 trillion, if you count both federal and private student loans, it became very important that the Democrats, who at that point were including the return of bankruptcy protections to student loans in their party platform since 2016, it was absolutely critical that they actually do what they've been promising to do for so many years and decades. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to tell you that the Democrats flat out abandoned and betrayed us. Now, a lot of you out there, particularly if you're new to the group, saying, why are you being so hard on Democrats? Yeah, okay, I got that. Watch my live stream last week and you can see me talk about Republicans. But many of you are probably saying, what's this bankruptcy thing? I don't want to file for bankruptcy. Bankruptcy sucks. Why should we be fighting for such a stupid thing? Bankruptcy lies at the core of this entire problem. Nobody wants to file for bankruptcy. Very few people, in fact, maybe even no one, will actually have to file when we get the right return. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, we are not going to see anything good from the Biden administration or the next president unless and until we get the leverage of bankruptcy return, the leverage, without anyone actually having to file. The founding fathers knew that bankruptcy was so important. They called for it in the Constitution ahead of all the rights enumerated in the Bill of Rights. So ahead of the freedom of religion and speech and due process and the abolition of slavery and all those things, right to bear arms, you name it. So the Democrats essentially stabbed us in the eyeball with an ice pick last session. We had a great bill. Dick Durbin was the sponsor, Democrat. It actually had two Republicans co-sponsoring the bill, Josh Hawley and John Cornyn. It had all the votes it needed to get out of committee. It had all the votes it needed to get passed through the full Senate and almost certainly the House as well. But I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, some very sneaky, snaky things happened on the Democratic side of this negotiation. And lo and behold, the Democrats chose to abandon this legislation. And so here we are now, after a decades-long standing promise having been just blatantly broken. And remember, the Democrats no longer have power. They probably would have retained power if they would have done anything good on student loans besides announce a lame loan cancellation before the midterms. That obviously didn't work too well for them. So the Democrats are smarter than the Republicans, but I have to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we, the people, the borrowers, we're not stupid. We see what's going on. We heard Biden before the midterms saying, "Oh, I'm going to cancel student loans, yay!" And then we saw before the presidential election, Biden was saying, "I'm going to eliminate your student loan debt if you earn less than $125,000 a year. You went to public college." He said made all these promises right after he got elected to being president. He goes, "Oh, no, I'm not doing that." And then he was led kicking and screaming to finally announcing that lame $10,000 cancellation before the midterms. And you could tell his heart just wasn't in it. And lo and behold, it gets, first of all, it was based on very head-scratching law. Lo and behold, here come the Republicans to sue it, and they win. So politically, maybe that was kind of smart by the Democrats in terms of them assuming that the student loan borrowers are idiots. And on that count, yeah, maybe we are, but I don't think that we are, ladies and gentlemen. I think that whether people know intellectually how corrupted and unconstitutional and disgusting and unacceptable and catastrophically failed the federal student loan program is, they feel it. They feel it viscerally. People understand when they're being conned. And, you know, Joe Biden has got a lot of history with removing bankruptcy protections from student loans. And that is making its way into the public conversation, into the zeitgeist. And so, ladies and gentlemen, if the Democrats think that they can string us out without doing anything meaningful for us for the next year and 2 months through the next presidential election, it's just not going to happen, guys. You know, people on our group are furious with the Democrats. They saw people like Nancy Pelosi and Susan Rice and all these establishment Democrats, Joe Biden himself, throwing cold water on the loan cancellation thing. And the thing about them abounding us on betraying us on bankruptcy, that really gets the people who are paying a lot of attention to this problem, like me, very furious. And they should know better. The Democrats should know better. And, you know, we'll see where it goes, guys. It remains to be seen just exactly how stupid the Democrats are. But, you know, I'm seeing these Democratic operatives on Twitter, and I'm sure they're going to launch into me after this live stream here tonight, just for the title alone of this broadcast. And they're like, oh, look at all the loans. Biden's doing a great job. Promises made, promises kept. Look, he did this new bankruptcy process. So he returned bankruptcy to student loans. And then look at he canceled $116 billion in student loans. Guys, I'm here to tell you, both of those things are just blatantly false. They're a slap in the face. And people aren't stupid. You know, $116 billion in canceled student loans may sound like a lot. It is nothing compared to the $388 billion that net are added in increased interest in new loan originations. So in other words, Joe Biden could cancel $116 billion in student loans every 2.5 years like he's been doing. And the nation's student loan debt tab would still grow by $1.5 trillion over 10 years. That's 170 something billion dollars a year. So guys, we're not buying it. And the other thing that apparently the Democrats don't seem to understand is that before this pandemic, more than half, so close to 60% of all student loan borrowers had given up. They were not paying on their student loans. And even if you discount for the people that were in school in their grace period, it's still well over half of everyone had stopped paying on their student loans. So the lending system is done. The lending system is finished. When they try and turn these loans back on, I'll be stunned if 30% of the borrowers resume paying on their loans. I think it'll be closer to 20%. In fact, it may not even be that high. People are done. We're done. And, you know, we see these PPP loans being handed out like candy that don't need to be repaid to these millionaire $100,000 plus earners on average. You know, these wealthy people, and they don't even use the money to pay their employees, by the way, the majority of it. They use it to pay themselves and buy Ferraris or whatever they did with it. The federal student loan program is finished, ladies and gentlemen. And if the Democrats want to try to perpetuate this loan scam, as they have done for the past 2.5 years, and as it would appear that they intend to continue doing, if they want to perpetuate this dead zombie loan failed experiment in U.S. policy, they could lose everything. You know, we don't love the Republicans. That's true. The Republicans are evil. And it's not like people are going to be like, you know, I was going to vote for Joe Biden if he did something on student loans, but now I think I'm going to vote for Donald Trump. And that might happen a few times, but more than anything, people are just going to say, you know what? Fuck these people. I'm not going to vote. Or I'm going to vote for whoever, Jill Stein or Cornel West, or I'm going to vote for my neighbor. He said he'd cancel my loans if he was president. They will not pull the lever for the stupid fucking Machiavellian, insincere Democrats. They will not. and all these blue no matter who people on Twitter trying to gaslight us and patronize us in their condescending arrogance. All they're doing is pushing us further away from the party. And they try to wag their fingers at us. No. We're not doing that shit anymore, guys. We can see a uniparty when it has us under its thumb. Whether it's red or blue or no matter who, we can tell when both sides are against us. We have no party, ladies and gentlemen. As of right now, today, August 14th, 2023, student loan borrowers have no party. And if you believe that the Democrats are actually fighting for us, you've got another belief coming. And hopefully in the fullness of time, you'll come to understand what we have learned many years ago, quite frankly. Neither party is actually fighting for us. The rhetoric from either party is radically different. But which is worse, the good cop or the bad cop? The guy who says he can't stand you, or the guy who says he's your best friend, but when you actually need him to come through and prove that, he pulls the rug out from under you? Which is worse? I don't know. Maybe even the second thing, quite frankly. Maybe it's the good cop that is really the most despicable. Anyways, guys, that's the truth of the matter. And if the Democrats are so stupid that they think they can play us for fools yet again and string us out, can you imagine how terrible it's going to be when people have to start repaying their loans? I mean, that in itself could bring on a national recession. But putting that aside, all the macroeconomic consequences, do you know how pissed off people are going to be for having believed the Democrats and voted for them, only to see Biden go, well, I tried, guys, I tried. Oh, the Supreme Court, I tried. And really, we can tell, as I said, Nancy Pelosi, Susan Rice, other leading Democrats, and Joe Biden himself, they are pleased. They are pleased. And what those who are actually in the know, like me and others on this group, understand is that the Democrats literally went out of their way to betray us on bankruptcy. And so you understand, nobody should have to file for bankruptcy. I know I've already said this before, but you need to understand, particularly if you're new to this group, nobody wants to file for bankruptcy. Very few people actually should. But when we get the right return. But unless and until we do get that floor of fairness reinstated as it exists for all other loans in this country, we're going to be begging Joe Biden or Donald Trump or whoever the next president is forever to cancel loans, to give us a break on interest, to whatever you want to see happen with your student loans. We'll be begging for that forever. And what we'll get is just more of the nonsense that we've already seen. That's how that game goes, guys. And I hope you don't want to play, because we on this group are not playing that game. And so we're not like a flash in the pan. We've been featured top story on 60 Minutes. We've broken news in the Wall Street Journal and in the New York Times and many, 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 Chronicle of Higher Education, Inside Higher Ed, many, 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 many other places. We've been living and breathing this issue, and we are as honest a group as you will ever find across all issues. We don't lie. We don't have any secret handshake deals. We don't make money behind your back off of your ass. We don't refer student loan lawyers and debt coaches. We don't let those predators camp on our group and hunt for distressed, confused, desperate student loan borrowers. We don't do any of that bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. That's the other groups. We don't do $1 million business transactions with student debt collection industry. No, we don't do any of that bullshit, guys. We are as grassroots as any grassroots group has ever been. We tell the truth. And that is the strongest thing about us. So you can believe that I'm not bullshitting you when I tell you that we have no party. They are both against us in different ways, but they're both against us. They can be pushed. We came very close last congressional session to finally getting our bankruptcy rights returned. And remember, guys, when they return the leverage of bankruptcy, They're going to have to cancel loans without anyone having to file. They're going to have to prevent a mass wave of filings. They're going to have to cancel loans broadly, deeply, widely, maybe even totally. I don't know. If I was in charge, I would, because we've never seen a lending system as catastrophically failed as the federal student loan program is. So anyways, guys, it all comes down to bankruptcy. I know it's not sexy, but it lies at the core of your student loan problem. And we need you fighting for the return of bankruptcy if you don't want to spend the rest of your natural life under the ball and chain of this unconstitutional, unconscionable, immoral debt. So I'm looking for your questions, comments right now. Sorry to be lagging on this. I may have to cut the questions a little short tonight. I know we're a little bit over 20 minutes now. Trying to keep my live stream to 20 minutes. Sometimes I can't see your comments, and you know what, guys? I think I'm just going to call it. I'm going to call it good for tonight. So I'm sorry, but I will see the comments after the fact, and I'm usually pretty good about answering any questions, entertaining any comments that you may have. So just to make the first points that I made tonight in summary, get us into a meeting with your member of the House of Representatives. Call them tomorrow or fill out an online request form for a meeting with their judiciary staffers tonight. Second thing, do our daily actions. Go to the website, studentloanjustice.org. Start getting into the habit of doing our daily actions. Hundreds of people do them. We need tens of thousands. We've got 1.4 million people in this group on paper, but that's meaningless unless, I don't know, 10% of the people on our group do that. So be one of the 10%ers on this group. You have no idea how important you could be. And finally, and again, I will just say, just please donate so I can shut up about it, dudes. Just please donate. Okay, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Big things happening. We're making a lot of news lately. Anyways, I digress. Google us if you want to see how ethically pure and how on the right track and how historically important this group is if you're new to the group. And tell everyone you know with student loans about this group. Okay, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good luck, Godspeed, and God bless.